Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sydney Folk Festival at Home. This is the final concert. For those of you that have been with us all weekend, it's been a fantastic time. For those of you that are just joining for this concert, well, you missed out on a lot, but we've got some great stuff coming up for you. Firstly, I'll introduce myself. I'm Alex Bishop, and my co-MC is Margaret Walters. I've got to acknowledge, firstly, the traditional custodians of the land. This is coming to you from Miranda, and the traditional custodians here are the Guyagal people from the Dharawal Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and to come. I should also acknowledge the Folk Federation of New South Wales. They ran the Folk Festival last year. This year is our 50th anniversary, and Pam Merrigan, our president, will be telling you more about the Folk Federation at the end of this session. I should acknowledge, though, that Pam, it was her idea to run this festival. She met a lot of opposition from the committee. We didn't think it was great because everybody's seen YouTube of their favourite performers. Why should we have a festival like this? Well, I think Pam has proved us wrong. It's been a great idea. The chat's been fantastic. So please join in on the chat. You can make jokes. Don't say anything bad about the MCs, but just sit back and have a great time. I'll introduce you now to the first act, Wood Vibrations. Fantastic group. Give them a big hand.
Yay!
Thanks very much, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
So welcome to the farewell concert.
Or is that farewell to the welcome concert? Just a very quick special welcome to Karina from Bavaria, who's watching at the moment. It's great to have you from overseas with us, Karina. Anita from Balmain, Karen from the Western Districts, and the possibility of Connor and Little Liam. Welcome, folks.
And so we've got 6 pieces, if we can get through them all this afternoon. And the first 3 are on this instrument, which is the oud. That's where we got our name from, Wood Vibrations. And then we're going to play some Turkish and Greek music on the Turkish saz. And so we're going to start with a piece by Hussein El Mazri, who's an Egyptian composer, called Rabat. And then the second one we're going to do is called Longa Negriz by Sadi Bey, and that's a very traditional Ottoman classical music. And the second one is another Egyptian composer, Riyad Sanbati. And this one is called Longa Farafeza, but commonly it's called Longa Riyad, because there's a bit of a tradition of just calling the piece after the composer. So Longa Riyad. So we're going to start with Rabat.
Yep.
And so we'll do the first 3, and then I'll introduce the next 3 after that. Hope you enjoy.
hope you're enjoying the set. John's going to move across now to the Turkish lute, and we're going to play some pieces on that, leading towards the end of the set, really. We've got about another 12 or so minutes to go. I think we're probably going to need to bump Chaika and go straight to Horizon. John, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, do you want to introduce the first one?
Okay, so now we're going to do three. Well, first one is Greek. This is Kasilamas from Megara, and Kasilama is a 9/8 rhythm for dance music, and they play the saz in Turkey mostly, but they also play it in Greek as well, in Greece, and it's fairly well-known instrument all across the Mediterranean actually, and so the first one is Kasilama. The second one we're going to play is called Hudayda, and this is a Kurdish traditional dance tune, and Hudayda is the name of a girl. So a lot of the other one we were going to play if we get time is called Çiçek Daya, which is also the name of a lady. So that's a popular theme in Turkish folk songs. So we're starting with the 9/8 Kasilama. Yeah.
So we certainly hope you're all out there dancing away at the moment. Wish we could see all that. That's of course one of the great benefits of live performance, is you get the opportunity to see people up there and grooving. So we're assuming you're dancing. And did I say hello to Anita in Balmain? I can't recall, but there you go. Hello again, Lofty. If I missed you the first time, I got you the second time. And we have a Karen in our midst, I'm sure, watching as well, John.
Hi, Karen.
Hudaida. do actually have a face under the mask. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, everybody, for being involved in this, and thank you so much for coming along. It's been a great pleasure to play for you. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Andy, and thanks to everybody in New South Wales Folk Federation.
Well, thunderous applause from here. That was great, fellas. Thanks, Andy and John. Are you okay to answer a little bit of a grilling?
Sure.
Of course.
We'd love to know more about your music. So, can I ask you if this is music that you've grown up with, or did you come to it sort of later in life?
Well, me, no. I'm Anglo-Celt, Australian-born, and I came to love Turkish and Greek music when I was at university and at Western Sydney Uni, and there was a fantastic ensemble teacher there named Sabahattin Adaycik, who's a fabulous Turkish musician, and I started playing in his ensemble at the university, and then after uni I continued lessons with Sabahattin and ended up playing with his Turkish orchestra, which was based in Auburn in Sydney for a while, and he was a great mentor and teacher to me. And then I've just kind of pursued it after that for the last almost 20 years now.
Yep. And from my perspective, Alex, and everybody, I was first inspired to pick up the drum when I went to a Sirocco concert back in the early 80s. And, of course, the terribly sad news that my first inspiring drummer was Guy Madigan, who suddenly died just 2 weeks ago, and he was a great loss to the musical community. And I'd like to, in retrospect, dedicate my playing today to Guy and to his memory. He was a terrific bloke, a gentleman, and a very generous man. And that was my beginning.
Yeah, great stuff. So, John, can you tell us a little bit about your instruments? There's quite a variety of instruments there, made from all sorts of different things. Looks like melons, some of them.
Well, yeah, so they're all wood. This one is the general name for this instrument is called saz, and it comes in varying sizes. So there's like a family of these instruments, and this is kind of like the middle-sized one. So this is called Balamar saz, and you've got the Jura saz, which is quite a small one, and the Divan saz, which is very big and very deep and has a really long neck. It's probably too long for my short arms, actually. And so this one's the perfect size for me, actually, and it's a folk instrument, and it's still actually the most popular instrument in Turkey. And if you hear a lot of even Turkish music that is released today, it features this instrument. So it's still a very big part of the Turkish musical culture. But they also play it in Greece as well, not as prominently. It's essentially an instrument that migrated with the Turkic people from Central Asia. So it has its origins actually in Central Asia, and as the Turkic people, which were actually situated in and around Mongolia, Kazakhstan. And the other instrument, of course, is the oud.
And we get our name from, of course, the oud and the vibrations on the drum.
And so the oud is very popular all over the Middle East, in Turkey and in Greece as well as North Africa. And there's lots of different ways of playing the oud, lots of different styles. In North Africa, it tends to be used in folk music quite a bit, as well as Arabic classical music from Egypt and Morocco. And it's a very ubiquitous Middle Eastern lute. And this is actually the predecessor to the modern guitar, but also the Renaissance lute came from this instrument. And so it has a long history, and it's perfect for playing the Arabic and Turkish scale system, makam system, which is a quarter tonal system. And so it has all the in-between notes as well as the Western notes. And so I've been studying this one for quite a long time now, and just learning as much repertoire as I can, and I really love playing both of them, and these are the two I have with me today. And as being a string player, you tend to pick up, you become a collector, so.
So I guess you don't sort of get these things from the local guitar shop. Are they made by local luthiers, or do you have to go to Turkey to get a decent one?
Well, there are in more recent years there have been local people around Sydney that make, especially with the Saz, not so much with the oud, but with the Saz. I know of at least a couple of makers in around Sydney, but the one that I have came from Istanbul, and this oud, I ordered this from Izmir in Turkey as well. And so they're pretty hard to get really good quality instruments in Australia, and generally you need to get them ordered in from overseas. But I think as time goes by, that'll probably change, and you'll find some very fine luthiers making these instruments in Australia too.
Great. Look, I shouldn't leave Andy out because you've got the Darabuka there, but I'm afraid I've been told that there's a video that's going to be playing shortly. So I might have to thank you folks again. That was just great. Lovely to hear you. So wonderful start. But I think I better let you go, and we'll cross to a video now. Thanks again.
Alex.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Karina,
you.
again from Bavaria.
The sun goes down now across the sea. We're homeward bound now and on the duty free. The harbour's quiet, the kids asleep, tired out from Europe on the cheap. There are no poor now, we all have cars. They're parked down below now, where we took off the stars. On television, if not the sky, the ocean moves us, we don't ask why. We feel a ship slip from the bottom of the land. We hope our trip went just like we planned. We see the lights along the shore, but not the overworked crew and not the open door. And in the cruel dark sea, our lives go down. In Zeebrugge harbour, all night we drown. Now the owners grow old while we die young, with the blue murder stuck in our lungs. And the ship we sail and the flag she flies, it is the herald of free enterprise. Yeah, the ship we sail and the flag she flies, it is the herald of free enterprise. Now you can salvage a ship up from the...
Hello everyone, you're having a wonderful festival. I can hardly believe how much I'm enjoying it. Everyone has been missing the close contact and the inability to hug people, but the chat is an amazing substitute for that. So do use that. You'll see names of lots of friends up on the side panel, and you're very welcome to this final concert this afternoon. It's my great pleasure to introduce Craig Sinclair, who's our next guest. I first heard Craig at a Zoom 2 months ago, and he was stood out mightily in that Hornsby Ku-ring-gai Folk Club singing session because of his sheer talent as a singer, songwriter and musician. So I'm really looking forward to this concert with him this afternoon, and we'll have a few words with him after the concert. So looking forward again. Craig, over to you.
Thank you very much, Margaret, and hello, folks. It's fantastic to be part of this event. I echo those comments as well. It's been just such an uplifting weekend, so thank you for having me as part of the Sydney Folk Festival. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm coming to you from Gadigal country, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and thank the Gadigal people for the many thousands of years of care for the country that we're on at the moment. Obviously, it's been a pretty big time for my partner and myself, and I'm sure many other people. And one of the things we've missed coming from rural Western Australia has been those big open skies and the open country, which we have a very strong connection to. So this first song is called Big Sky, and it's dedicated to anyone who's feeling that that desire to reconnect with the big open country of Australia. The heart been yearning, reaching through the picture frame, break the locks and quench the burning, find the way back home again. Shoot me dead gun barrel highway, wake me with the desert bells, ring them in the old wood cabin, whistle in the empty shell. Breathe sky in the early morning, skin soaking the searing blue. Big sky, I hear you calling, I'm coming home to you. On me, bend me like a highway curve. Show me what these wide eyes won't see. Make me real, make me learn. Mountain melts before the daughter, soften me down to the bone. Edges eaten by the water, smoothing round like river stone. is just a distant maybe. Set my path, set my will. Take me to the edge and change me. Hold me here as time stands still. Big sky, I can hear you calling. Big sky, I can hear you calling. Big sky, I can hear you calling. Thank you very much. It's certainly is an experience getting used to this sort of one-way performing experience, but I can see Margaret there on the screen, and that's lovely. I'm going to play a song called "Gambling on You" now, and just need to do a quick retune. But yeah, festival day 3. I certainly feel like I smell a lot better than I normally do on day 3 of a festival. My partner says there's still room for improvement in that department, but I have to say, fantastically organised festival. Thanks to everyone for your work. The showers and toilets have been flawless. Didn't have to wait, ever. Hot showers, felt like home. So this tune is a bit of a story about a fellow who thinks he's going to have one more gamble on love, and he walks back into that casino one more time, and he gets the shock of his life. Nearly there. Here we go, Gambling on You. Today I took a silver spade and found a piece of ground. I followed my compass, the arrow pointed down. Now my rope has reached its tether. I'm deciding what to do, climb or dig, it's now or never. Gambling on you. My head is slowly spinning, I wake up in a dream. The eerie ghost of lovers past reminds me where I've been, past each and every heartbreak. I know that it's all true, but the truth has never stopped me gambling on you. Well, dice are made for rolling, the winners like to say. Each game you're either in or out, the dice roll either way. I thought I heard the weatherman whisper change is surely due. I never had a backup plan, just gambling on you. Feathers of a rooster, shark's tooth round my neck. These lucky charms have earned their stripes, they haven't failed me yet.
There's one last mighty wager, they'll have to see me through, holding on to golden thoughts, gambling on you. Dice are made for rolling, the winners like to say. Each game you're either in or out, the dice roll either way. I thought I heard the weatherman whisper changes surely due. I never had a backup plan, just gambling on you. One arm above the other, I start to slowly climb. I leave them there behind me, one demon at a time. But as I see the sunshine, I see a thing I didn't plan. You're standing up above me with a slip knot in your hand. Well, my cover's blown, the poker face is not my strongest suit. My bleeding heart is on my sleeve, I'm gambling on you. Gambling on you. But Lady Luck needs more than just to know that you'll be true. She's fickle like the rest of us, she's gambling on you. She's fickle like the best of us, she's gambling on you. Gambling on you, gambling on you.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, this next piece is a story, and it's a piece of WA history about the story of the Bonnie mining disaster, which happened back in 1907. And if you're familiar with the music of Cloud Street, you may have heard them do a fantastic rendition of a historical song about this event called Down in the Gold Mine, I think. I've written another tune which is more focused on the main protagonist of the story, Modesto Varaschetti, who was an Italian miner who came out, like many Italian and other Southern and Eastern European people, during the early 1900s as part of the second wave of the West Australian gold rush. There was a freak storm at one point at the Westralia mine, and if you've ever been out to that country, you'll know how fine that red dirt is, and it just gets into everything. But when the rain falls heavy, that dust becomes a slurry that just runs wild across roads and wreaks havoc, really. In this case, it ran down the Westralia mine and flooded that mine, and he was trapped. It turns out he was trapped in an air bubble. And so the race was on to try to rescue this man, and it really galvanised all of the goldfields in Western Australia at a time just after Federation. I think it was a really important period in West Australian history, and it also is a place where there has been, sadly, a lot of racial violence over the 20th century. And so I've written this song, which I hope you enjoy. Normally it's done as part of our three-piece group with a big searing violin riff that Lara provides, but I'm trying to do it by myself today, so I've sort of reshaped it as a bit of a bush poem. And I hope you indulge me a little bit on this, and we'll see how it goes, because it's my first time. It was March 1907, near old Coolgardie town. Dark clouds were on the desert, and the rain came pouring down. From hard-baked earth the claypan turned into a muddy slide, and the runoff, like a torrent, ran to the old Westralia mine. 21 were below that day, deep beneath the ground, but when they pulled the skips back up, only 20 could be found. A roll was called, and soon they knew Varaschetti was below, a widower from Italy, with 2 children back home. Well, some despaired when it was said that the floods had reached level 9, for he was last on level 10, couldn't get out in time. Some refused to give up hope, they would not lose their heart, and then they finally heard the sound, a tapping on the shaft. from many places, come from all across the world. Slav, Chinese, Italian, there's fortune here we heard. We're not afraid of honest work or danger underground. God knows we face them both in spades each time that we go down. They were bailing in a frenzy, but the water moved too slow. How cruel the fates, this man can breathe, but he'll starve there down below. It was the inspector's son who made the plan. When the old man finally sat him down, he said, if you can't get that water up, you'd better send a diver down. So a train was sent at breakneck speed, 2 divers' suits in tow. A rare sight on the mining field, but Hughes went down below, taking food, light and letters down the river carved in stone, bringing hope and heart to Varischetti there alone. We come from many places, come from all across the world. Slav, Chinese, Italian, there's fortune here we heard. We're not afraid of honest work or danger underground. God knows we face them both in spades each time that we go down. 10 days and nights the nation prayed for this man buried alive, weakened from the dark and damp, but determined to survive. And when the divers brought him up, the doctor said everyone gathered there needed to be silent because his heart might give out. But when the divers brought him up, there arose a mighty cheer. I think they were saying, love and hope and help went down to face those floods of fear. So keep watch on the stormy skies till the waters shall recede. Let it be known that we heard the call and came in time of need. Have no fear when the waters clear, we'll bring him up alive. In my heart I know Modesto Varischetti will survive. In my heart I know Modesto Varischetti will survive. Varischetti will survive. Varischetti will survive. Varischetti will survive. Thank you. A little bit of an experiment there, but that last little vocal ad lib was a tune called "The Diver in the Mine" that Lara normally does a fine rendition of when we're playing it live, and it was actually recorded by Rob Zielinski, who's now living just down on the south coast in Western Australia, and I saw him featured on a video on Friday night with Kate Burke as well. So I'll play you a tune on this Weizenborn guitar. And it's a song by Chris Wilson, a really lovely song by a wonderful man who's sadly no longer with us, a real hero in the Melbourne music scene. And I'd like to dedicate this one to our friends in Melbourne and Victoria who are doing it tough, and my brother who's down there in hard lockdown at the moment. This song's called She Danced with the Spirits. Between the dead horse and bower by the Black Beaufort Sea, where the Colville flows slowly and the ice floe breaks free, where the icebergs collide on the reef and the bay. I saw her dance with the spirits, I still recall it that way.
Well, we drilled through the tundra, there was the prospect of oil. We had a camp by the rigs, where the crude breaks the soil. At the edge of the desert that was carpeted white, I saw her dance with the spirits through the heart of the night. And her dance was as wild as the wind on the Cape. Lockstep in rhythm, she could not escape. I heard her howl to the heavens outside the circle in space. She danced with the spirits beyond the earth's cold embrace. Well, the stars were as sharp as a blade to the eye, and the aurora made whiplash across the cold winter sky. And like towers of crystal, the mountains stretched to the moon. She danced with the spirits to her own silent tune, and her dance was as wild as the wind on the Cape. Lockstep in rhythm, she could not escape. I heard her howl to the heavens outside the circle in space. She danced with the spirits beyond the earth's cold embrace. Outside the company store, she was loading supplies. She looked up for a moment as I passed her by. I was caught in her gaze, she was caught by surprise. I was trapped by the spirits that danced in her eyes, and she danced to him, to the orca and seal, to the wolf and the seabird, and the sky hard as steel. I heard her cry on the wind as she shimmered through space. She danced with the spirits beyond the earth's cold embrace.
Thank you very much. I really enjoy playing that song, and if you're in Melbourne, you've had a nice weekend. Time flies, and I think this will be my last song. So I'd just like to say thanks again for a fantastic weekend. and thanks for having me as part of the festival. I've really been very grateful for the welcome I've received in the last few months from the folk community in New South Wales, and yeah, I hope I can get to know more of you in person over the next few years. This is a bit of a guilty pleasure, this song. It's one of my favourites, and really one of the key reasons that I picked up the guitar when I saw a bit of video of Womadelaide back in the early 2000s, I think, and a fella called Richard Thompson was playing. I didn't know who Richard Thompson was at the time, but that really got me into folk music, and it very quickly became a big part of my life. Sorry there folks, I'm just having a bit of problem with this new tuner I've got, so I'm resorting to the old trusty one. Here we go. Okay, so this one's called the Vincent Black Lightning. Thanks again.
Say I read Molly to James, that's a fine motorbike. Now a girl could feel special on any such light. Said James to Red Molly, my hat's off to you. It's Vincent Black Lightning 1952. I've seen you at the corners and the cafes, it seems. Red hair, black leather, my favorite color scheme. And he pulled her on behind. And down to Box Hill, laid it right. Said James to Red Molly, here's a ring for your right hand. But I tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. For I've fought with the law since I was 17. I rubbed many a man to get this Vincent machine. Now I'm 21 years, I might make 22. I don't mind dying before the love of you. And if fate should break my stride, well, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Come down, Red Molly called Sergeant McCrae. They're taking young James AGM for armed robbery. A shotgun blast hit his chest, left nothing inside. Come down, Red Molly, to his dying bedside. When she came to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road, he was running out of breath. But he smiled to see her cry. Said, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Said James, in my opinion, there's nothing in this world beats a 52 Vincent and a red-headed girl. Now Nortons, Indians and Greaves won't do. They don't have the soul of a Vincent 52. And he reached for a hand, he slipped her the keys. He said, my love, I have no further use for these. I see angels on aerials in leather and chrome, and they're swooping down from heaven to carry me home. And he gave her one last kiss and died. And he gave her one last kiss and died. Well, he gave her one last kiss and died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride.
Thank you very much.
That was fabulous, Craig. We've had lots and lots of very, very positive comments in the YouTube screening. So if people don't know, you've had the link to this concert. You'll be able to watch it again on the YouTube using that private YouTube connection, using the same login. And it will well worth listening to that concert again. Thank you so much, Craig. You've really transcended the miles between here and in WA with your lovely imagery. Just really blown away by the way your instrumentals really complement the song and without masking the voice. And I love all those three elements to come together. That's been fantastic. And look, you've only been in Sydney for, is it not even a year yet?
It's around a year, yeah. Yep. But it took a while to sort of get our feet on the ground and start to get out there and find the folk clubs and that sort of thing. But we're on our way now. Well,
I'm so grateful for Zoom, which has enabled us to enjoy you in this awful interim between the lockdown and when we might be able to get together in the flesh. But now you've been putting out CDs, I think, since about 2005 over in WA.
There's a few. Yeah, so I've just put out my fourth solo release last year, which was there was about 10 years between the previous one, and in that time I'd been playing in a 5-piece band in Western Australia called the Pepper Jacks. So there's both of those albums, or all of those albums are on my website, which is craigsinclair.com.au. And you can also sign up for a mailing list there as well, if you want to hear about shows and other sorts of things like that.
I think it's marvellous the way you've introduced yourself to the folk scene over here in the long distance way. You've been getting up to Woy, I think the folk club up there, and down to Illawarra as well, I think, and seem to be known in parts south. And I meant to mention that your mum and dad are watching and enjoyed the way you played the Chris Wilson song.
Hi, Mum and Dad.
And look, we haven't got much time, so we'll probably be throwing over pretty soon to a bit of a video. But I want to thank you very, very much, and do look up all those very positive comments on the YouTube screen. And thank you one and all for listening, and we'll be crossing over now to have a bit of a video from Nigel Lever and Rosie McDonald, who were in the opening concert on Friday night. So thanks very much to all the technical side of things. It's been pretty amazing dealing with it all, and come back for more. So
traveling in some vehicle, sitting in some cafe, affected from the petty wars that shall shuffle up away.
wasn't Craig lovely? And here we've got Chaika. So for those of you who haven't seen Chaika before, you're in for a treat. Before we cross to them, I just want to thank Dale. We had a little bit of a panic there, and Dale has managed it so beautifully. So here we go. I'll just hand over to Chaika now, and off they go.
We're not getting double because we're getting these here.
Voila, hello.
Okay, here we go.
Can you hear us? Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. be here. Thanks so much for zooming in and being part of this online festival. We're all missing you. We're all missing festivals, and it's great to be here at Hump Hall, streaming to you directly live. That was a fun piece called Çayeli'nin Ötüye. It's a northern Turkish folk song that I arranged, and this next one's a beautiful piece written by Rendra Freestone over there on the percussion.
So this song's called Arrow, and I wrote it a few years ago during a residency with the band, and it's about direction.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's
so lovely to be here, really, really is. Such a treat to be part of a really beautifully put on festival. This next song we're going to do is one of mine. It's called On the Sands, and it's kind of inspired by folk royalty, the Fagan family. You probably hear a bit in the middle where we all sing that. I'm hoping it kind of sounds like them. So here it is, On the Sands. yourselves out there at home. This next one, I'm just going to have a quick drink of water. This next one's called Ludomlado, which means crazy man. And they're the only words that aren't in English, so hopefully you'll understand what the story's about. And I wrote this one collectively with Laura and with the help of everyone. So, yeah. She
again, everyone, for listening out there, and to the 4 wonderful humans that are in this room that aren't us. The Humble team, I believe they're doing some extravaganza with the 4 or so cameras that I can see. And thank you so much to the New South Wales Folk Federation and the Sydney Folk Festival, of course, the whole team, for having us and putting on a wonderful festival.
Yeah.
And I think we have one more song.
We have one more.
Laura will introduce.
I'll say a little bit about it. It's called Tropna La Ora, which is Bulgarian for a great big dance. Yeah. So if you feel like dancing at home, none of us are going to stop you. It would be lovely if you did. So the story is that Stoina is sitting at her window, she's a girl, looking out to the town square, and she sees a great big dance happening, a big party. And she says to her mother, "Hey, Mama, can I join the dance?" And her mother says, "Well, yes, Stoina, but you must watch out. See that young crazy man, that Ludo Muado out there? He may wink at you or step on your toes."
Hooray!
And everybody in here too.
And the team in here.
Yeah.
I believe there might possibly be some kind of interview, chit-chat.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You've actually got 2 minutes to go, but I know that every Chaika song is about 10 minutes long, so you're going to have to chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Request for an encore.
No. It's going to see if we can hear.
I'm just gonna have to hear Alex.
Yeah, so sorry, I don't know whether you can hear me all right. Can you?
Yeah, we're currently we're hearing you as a delay. So perhaps we won't be able to have a chat.
Okay, well, we'll just have to have a slow conversation. So we don't have time. You've actually finished 2 minutes early, but we don't have time to have another Chaika song. So we'll just have to have a little chat until Pam Merrigan closes out the festival. So I'll start off by asking you.
We don't have time for Chaika songs. They're all 10 minutes. Was there a question?
I think we need an interpreter. It sounds like I'm talking to Wayne and Wayne is talking to you. So I'll ask you a question. It sounds like I'm talking to Wayne and Wayne is talking to you. So I'll ask you a question. How did the
I know what. I actually know what our dad was going to ask us. I know the interview question. So Dad can stop talking and we can just talk about what COVID has meant for us as a band. The effect that COVID has had on us as a group.
Well, it's had a huge effect on us. We had to cancel a whole lot of touring and other things.
Mid-tour, yeah. So I think a few people were going to see us down in Melbourne and also at the National Folk Festival, at the Warburton Folk Festival, Yakandan Folk Festival, and a bunch of wonderful regional areas, which means so much to us actually to sort of get to know our country so much better by going places and playing music to people in smaller areas as well as the larger centres. And so that's, I think, had a very big impact. And I think also probably everybody noticed this, that in the band, generally our socialising and our friendship happens when we're on tour and when we're in rehearsals. So when we got home after everything being cancelled and then we weren't allowed to see each other for like 2 months, that was quite difficult. And I think, I don't know, there are good things, like more knitting happened in some households, and more gardening happened in my household, I know. But basically, yeah, I think it took a huge toll on our professional lives and our social lives, and because everything is so much intertwined, and of course financially, very, very little amount of money coming in. Most of us.
Yeah, it was funny because it sort of happened as we were on the Spirit of Tasmania on the way back from Tassie, with like still another half of the tour to go. And like all these beautiful little festivals lined up, and there was some like pretty incredible moments where like there was a festival that had to get cancelled, the River Folk Festival, but we still were there, and like there were like a few musicians stranded there, and we all got to sort of meet others in this really weird sort of surreal environment and have like actually a really special and unique experience. So it was kind of good and bad. It was really heartbreaking for Emily Rose, who'd sort of like spent hours and hours and hours on each individual booking that she'd made, and then like just saw them falling through her hands like sand.
Oh, they're all gone!
Yeah, but there was some really beautiful things that came out of it as well, and connections made more strongly than would have been otherwise, I think. And a really incredible experience where we got to play to a small newly born baby, and that was welcome it into the world, and everyone was in tears afterwards. So there were some really beautiful things that came out of it.
And I think, there's a lot of talk about, how things are affecting the live music industry and the performance industry and the entertainment industry. And it is not good, But I think it's also good to keep in perspective things. I just got off a chat with a friend in Buenos Aires who, still can't go out, hasn't been able to go out and do anything since March. And he said 1 in 25 people in the city have COVID. And he said, so inevitably he thinks he'll get it. And I think that like the fact that we're even allowed to sort of be here doing this is pretty good. So I think that perspective is also extremely important in these situations as well.
And we really love that there's like lots of opportunities like the Sydney Folk Festival who've sort of gone ahead and like there's been lots of beautiful comments of people being like, it feels like it's a real festival. Yeah. So it's like, you know, we can still create those opportunities and those beautiful experiences, and we're really grateful to be a part of it. So thank you, Sydney Folk Festival, for going ahead and having us.
Yeah.
That's all good. Yeah.
Okay, well, look,
I'm just going to keep waiting until the turns are off.
okay, well, thanks so much, Chaika. I can't talk to you. Obviously, there's a delay, but thank you, and we'll go to Pam Merrigan now, who will take us out. And thanks so much again, Pam, for all that you've done to enable this festival.
Okay, hi everyone. Well, our little festival's come to an end. And just like when all festivals end, even though we've just been streaming, I just feel so sad that we're all going to say goodbye to each other. Anyway, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Folk Federation of New South Wales to thank you all, the performers and the audience, for being part of Sydney Folk Festival at Home. Listen, I'd also like to give out a big shout out to Dale and the team at Podstream, because without them, this wouldn't have been possible. I think we're going to maybe just have a little look and see what it actually looks like behind the scenes.
How are you, Pam?
Oh, yeah. Okay, there's Dale, and look, he's done a fantastic job. So I hope you're all giving him a huge round of applause in your homes right now. It's been a fantastic weekend. Wow, what a blast! Just a wonderful weekend of folk. So it's been great. I would also like to take this opportunity to let you know that 2020 is the 50th anniversary of the Folk Federation of New South Wales, and we are planning to celebrate that milestone. We're hoping that towards the end of October and early November we'll be running some special events. So we'd urge you to keep in touch, keep connecting with us via our websites. There are two of them. There's Folk Federation website and the Sydney Folk Festival website, and also through our 2 Facebook pages. That'd be great. Keep in touch and see what's on, because we'll be letting you know as things unfold. And if you'd like to join the Folk Federation of New South Wales, you can visit the website. That's folkfednsw.org.au, and there's a link there, and that will allow you to join the Federation, and you can connect with our folk community and get regular updates and newsletters of what's going on. Anyway, it's time to go. All good things must come to an end, and thank you once again for all being part of this. And I think a big thank you to all our team at Folk Fed. You know, everyone on our committee has worked their little butts off over the weekend. We've been nervous, we've been excited, we've been with every emotion that you could imagine. So thank you guys, thank you Dale, thank you audience and performers. Without all our community, we don't have a folk scene. So thanks, and I'll see you soon. Bye now. Woo. And